MAO. All right, let's begin. Okay, guys. All right. Now the thing is this: cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin has managed to stay above the 80% mark. All right. That's later on. I'll be showing you what do I mean by the 80% mark. Let me show to you right now. Just a quick preview on this. Okay. For a minute. Here we go. All right. This is the high recently, right, when crypto Bitcoin went to 64,000, and then it began to slide downwards all the way down. Oh, sorry, it's not being shared. Hold on. Okay. Is my share screen up? Yeah, and that, okay, some delay here, I think. Okay. Okay, so it basically came down all the way, and now the low about 47,000, and then now it stays above the 80% mark. Now, I did mention to you guys about the 80% mark. Every time when Bitcoin from the highest point, all-time high, pulls back to 80%, it presents a very good price to buy. So anytime below 80%, if you don't mind taking a adventurous step, you can go in to buy into the Bitcoin. All right, you can see it's really happening right now. Okay, yeah, in that. So later on, I'll explain to you more and my forecast about Bitcoin, about where I think that the next high will be based on some statistics. All right, so hang on with me, you get to see this. All right. So there seems to be a lot of people is asking a lot of questions right now. Okay, just give me a minute. Oh, jeez. Just give me a short moment, guys. So sorry. Okay, here we go. Okay. So before we start this sharing session, let's just make sure that disclaimer as usual. All right. So once you have understand the disclaimer, you accepted the above, and you have indemnified me. All right. This is most critical and most important. Okay. This is very, very important. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's begin. Now, is BTC a Tulip Mania? All right. Tulip Mania. Right. How many of you know about this Tulip Mania? Right, you know that this thing actually happened back in 1636. That's like 400 years ago. How many of you actually have read about this? You can't be there. I mean, I'm very sure that you won't be there back then unless you are a very special person. All right, if not, it's all right. This thing happened about 400 years ago. All right, so anyone have read about this, the Tulip Mania? Right, there's 41 of you. Let me ask now, how many of you are involved? How many of you actually read about this? Can't be involved, right? Unless you're telling me that you guys can transport yourself back into time. Right, heard of it? Yeah, read. Anthony, you read about it. Okay, Joe, you heard about it. Dan Ho, you also heard about that. Okay, good. Okay. Now, the Tulip Mania, right, is basically this. Let me just bring a little bit back to you, okay? All right, basically it happened in 1634 to 1637. It's actually a 3.5 years fiasco. Okay, so back then, like tulip, it doesn't cost a lot of money. Okay, but the way it went up, right, at the highest point in terms of valuation for the best tulip is worth as much as today $750,000 US. I mean, think about this. It's just a tulip, okay? And I'm telling you itself, right? This is how crazy it actually went. All right. So basically, it happened, all right, during the Dutch Golden Age period. That's exactly what happened in USA back then in 1990s, where everybody was doing very well. So it was because of someone speculated that this tulip is good, the other says it's better than mine, and start to go crazy on that, and everybody was buying. Now, there's actually a chart that actually supposed to tell you exactly like how much it really worth it at the high. Right, I saw a lot of stuff was being like, is that you can actually buy a lot of food stuff with one box of tulip. All right, I'll try to get it for you tomorrow. But the point is this: it did went crazy. It did went in a phenomenal rate, and before it collapsed. Okay, so the thing is this: will we see a Tulip Mania on BTC? So logically, if people are going to tell me something like that, then we may have to see the Bitcoin going to 750,000 US dollars. So now Bitcoin is at how much again? At 55, 58,000. I think we're still very far away, right? So in my opinion, I don't think that we are anywhere to a Tulip Mania. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, so you decide for yourself. But to me, what the charts tells me that there's long way to go. All right, to reach that point. Okay. So while we have some news to share this today, now Tesla has sold some Bitcoin expected because, as I say, they bought Bitcoin back then was because they probably were trying to do something creative and also to make it massage the book, in my opinion. All right, so they have sold some Bitcoin, and the number is quite a fair bit. It's like probably like 1/8 of their entire portfolio. All right, so about $272 million. Okay, so the thing is that they sold, right? So the question is that would they buy back again? So would that next time if they buy back again, right, would that mean that the price of Bitcoin go up again? I think it will happen, right? Because of 21 million pieces of Bitcoin in the world and 18 million is already in circulation, right? So when someone sells, someone has to buy back. So that's my point. So if let's say they sold it recently during the market was coming off, then probably a lot of people have bought back at a lower price and now they can actually, do it again. And for yesterday, we saw this Bitcoin recovering very strongly. All right, it was hitting the March low, but then after that, it rebounded. So now the thing is, the question will be, is it a good time to buy Bitcoin, right? So I'll cover this very shortly and explain to you how I see Bitcoin might be taking down the 80,000 mark in about 20 to 40 days time. Let us see, I'll explain to you shortly, all right? Now, yesterday, some of you guys came to the office and we set up the this Binance account. All right, thank you guys for coming down. So for those who want to set up their Binance account, right, you have one more session tomorrow at same time, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Okay, please contact Susan to register if you want to come in. Okay. All right, so the thing is there's some bad news ongoing right now. Apparently, a second Bitcoin exchange collapsed in Turkey. So there was one just a couple of days ago, and now it happened again. So it's a crackdown on cryptocurrency. So Turkish cryptocurrency, right, then Bitcoin, apparently has ceased all activities after facing financial strain. Now the question mark is this: why are they having financial strain when they're in exchange, whereby you just have to be yourself and get the left, the right side to just commit? So there's something else involved there, I'm quite sure. So that is whereby, right, this is going to create a bit of problem. But you realize that even though this news that came out, right, this is the second exchange, but the market doesn't really bother anymore. So that is where I call it as bullishness. When the market don't care anymore, right, this is really outright bullishness in the market. So basically, it's all right. They are this exchange, right, Bitcoin, right, is still under investigation. But it seems that the trading volume is not as big as the first one, right, the Todex. All right, so the thing is, the question mark is that now, okay, if this exchange blowing up, right, is it going to create problem? Well, apparently, you can still see that everybody is still all right. Now, of course, there's some people very skeptical, right? Like this one, the Bank of America Fund Manager Survey, 74% who actually responded, right, said that the Bitcoin is a bubble. And they said that, right, there will be a chance of more regulatory clampdown on the way. Now, I'm going to tell you this as a trader. When there is such survey ongoing and you have more than 70% of people tell you that this is a bubble, I can guarantee you that, right, it will not happen. It will not happen. When everybody basically is right, say that there's a bubble, it will not happen, at least for now. All right. It's only when everybody say this is nothing, everything is cool, then that is where this thing of this so-called bubble burst will happen. So this is why I'm saying that Bitcoin still have a lot of legs to go up. All right. But of course, we can go slow. We can trade intraday, or you can buy smaller pieces, and then you just take it as form of, alternate investment. Okay. So that is what we have on the news side. Now, there's this particular author, okay, he's the one who wrote The Black Swan. Okay, it was a pretty decent book. All right, I read it, some part of it. So this guy, Nassim, all right, he basically says that, right, Bitcoin is a gimmick and it's too volatile to be a currency and unsafe hedge against inflation. Gimmick or not, we know that this is a fact. Everybody's buying Bitcoin now on this cryptocurrency for faith, on faith basis. Volatile, yeah, crazy. I mean, to be down 8% and up 10% is definitely volatile. It's just like having our Singapore currency example. Like it's like, you know, you're having it at $1 value. Then after that, next day it's 90-cent value per dollar. Of course, this is something that you're going to scream, especially if you're doing import-export business, right? Or do a lot of overseas trades. You don't really want to touch the volatility. So yes, indeed, the volatility itself is already maybe insane at the moment right now, undeniable. But you tell me, is it the unsafe bet hedge against inflation? But we can see very clearly the dollar has been coming off and the Bitcoin been going up. All right, so that shows that, right, someone is using another assets to basically do a hedging too. So all I can say is, well, he has his right to have his own opinion. So the thing is, let me show how does he look like. This is the guy. Okay, so sorry, I just when I saw his picture, I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, so all I can say is that, right, he was being asked. So, and he considered calling it as an open Ponzi scheme, all right? So I will just leave it there. The best part of thing is that, right, he was quite into Bitcoin at one stage. Then after that, now he changed his mind. And one of his writing, right, he says this, okay? He says that Bitcoin is not what informed his now critical view, saying that even if Bitcoin go to $1 million, he will not change his argument, okay? So maybe when it really hit 1 million, we ask him again, right? But if you think about this, it's right, at 50,000 now for Bitcoin, and it shall go to 1 million, that's 20 times from today's. So that means that if you invest something here and eventually hit 1 million, right, it's 20 times. I think quite sure no stock indices can do up 20 times so fast, okay? So all I can say is that everybody got reserved their own view. His point is that there's no systematic links between them. So he feel that, right, even if you have Bitcoin today, it'll come and go. So he say, if you want to hedge, then buy land, you know. And to me, this is just a quote, but I just find that, right, it's a little bit like immature to this point. So all I can say is I will leave it there, but you guys make your own call, okay? For me, it's all right. I still believe that Bitcoin will trade higher in the time to come, and it will not change. Probably when you go to the point where everybody go really gaga over this Bitcoin, and then after that, the market doesn't move any higher, then maybe we will see some pullback of sort. Right, at the moment now, right, we can see Ethereum and Bitcoin. It seems that Ethereum is still a better bet because recently when Bitcoin came off, right, Ethereum also followed through, but the downside was just a couple of days. And then after that, Ethereum recovered so fast that it went back above the high before it came off. So this shows you that, right, Ethereum seems to be a better bet compared to Bitcoin. But in terms of usage and demand, right, okay, all I can say is usage, there's more Bitcoin user, demand is Ethereum. So it's all depending on which side you're going to bet, or you can actually do a 60-40, 50-50 ratio between the both of them, okay? All right, so this is our trade yesterday. Now we missed the morning trade, a little bit wasted because we only start trading at 9 a.m. Singapore time. So Bitcoin in the morning already started to rally, all right? In fact, it went down to 47,000. Some of the friends that I know actually when they bought Bitcoin at about 47 to 48,000. Then after that, you know, we went in because we follow the KCX, right? So what we do is pretty simple. Let me address this once again to those friends who are non-students of mine. I can just show it to you immediately right now. So basically what you see is that once you see blue turn to green right here, right? When you see blue turns to green, you look up. If the color change from red to yellow, it's a buy. See that? It's that simple, right? So of course, will we lose money? Well, of course, there are trends. This is one trade whereby we saw it, okay? It was a KCX at the bottom here, and the 5-minute chart shows that CCRY, color change from red to yellow, was a buy, but we did not make enough. And of course, the market came down. All right, if you use the usual stop loss, will be triggered out. So that's why I put a cross over here. But it doesn't matter because after a while later, the KCX again pop up, and we just have to wait for a while. And probably about 25 minutes later, the color changed from red to yellow. And immediately, if you bought it right here now, my thing that I'm showing you, immediately you're up by $700. All right, on the Bitcoin value, almost in 5 minutes. Yeah, indeed. If you just went in to buy here, and by the time about 10 minutes later, your Bitcoin value is up by 700. That's really, really incredible. 5 minutes is all you need, okay? And of course, it happens again several times. You can see over here. All right, there's one more. And the other one, they don't really make money. In fact, hit stop loss. All right, so how do we perform in whole? Well, this is how it looks like, okay, on our trading site. Yesterday, we still ended positive. Up by $123. So this is like probably our 4th day in a row making money, or 5th in a row making money, when the Bitcoin is actually down for a couple of days and we're still able to stay on the long side and actually make money. So this is pretty incredible, right, guys? Okay, so why Bitcoin, right? You can see how it works, because I'm going to show you live right now my personal view on how I see Bitcoin for a long haul. Let's take a look. Okay. Now, everybody, let's take a look at the chart right now. This is the Bitcoin chart. Of course, Bitcoin only really goes into, really this incredible mode when that was last year, December, whereby it was at 17,000. It went all the way up to 65,000. So the real big movement only come the last few months, right? So let us do something here, okay? What I did was pretty simple. I take the high in December, and then I connected with the recent high. I get my so-called channel. Then I place the angle of the channel at the bottom. It seems to fit for this recent downside. Okay, so what I want to share with you is this personal view. Okay, you follow me right now. From the highest point here to the last high, well, you can see that some numbers are moving, right? Okay, so what I explained to you, all right, the first number is 44, right? You can see on the screen. So 44, can you see the 44 there? Yeah, numbers for 44. Okay, so 44 days from one high to the other high is about 44 days. Okay, and then after that, right, the next one you can see is from this point high to the next high is about 21 days. So that's half of the time needed. Okay, now I don't know whether my thing will block your view, but then from this high, from the March to the recent high, it takes about 30 days. So in short itself, right, the average, right, is about 30 to 40 days before we actually see a high again. So now if we do this as a form of guidance, okay, all right, if you look at your screen right now, okay, I need to compress the chart to just show it to you. If I were to move this along the gradient of 20 days, right, that means that we would see the cryptocurrency Bitcoin will hit about 60 to 70, okay, to hit 70,000. All right, that means that it hit 70,000. That means that you follow me. That means that if I were to follow this thing here as a gradient, it will hit this point here, and this point is about 70,000. Okay, that is at the point of 20 days. Okay, got an idea now? You see, pretty systematic, right? So if I continue the gradient to 30 days, okay, we should have about 72,000. If we continue this gradient to 40 days, we should reach about, okay, I need a bit more to go. I need to push the screen a bit more. If I push it to, okay, a bit smaller, okay. If I'm going to push it to 40 days, right, follow the gradient, I will see 40 days, yeah, it will be about 75,000. Okay, 75,000. So which means that, right, if let's say we're going to take as a 40-day guidance, 40 days, so maybe Bitcoin from the last high, which is here, right, add another 40 days down the gradient, all right, we should be able to see about $75,000. Okay, $75,000. Okay, so which means that now the last high, the Bitcoin was at about 64. Okay, so which means that in my opinion, the next high we should see about 75. But of course, we do see this type of incredible run whereby it broke past the channel and go higher by usually about $6,000 to $7,000. So we plus minus, let's say 5,000. All right. So which means that the next leg, the Bitcoin should be heading is about 80 to 82,000 before it pick up once again. Got an idea now? So which means that, right, it is a possibility for the Bitcoin to hit about 80 to 82,000 the next round before it picks again. So today it's only at 54,000. All right, so we have a long way to go. So that is, how many percent is that? That is easily, how many percent? Well, almost probably 50%. Yeah, another 50% upside. All right, another 50% upside before we actually hit this point here. Okay, so got an idea. So if you think that this will happen, if you think that this will happen, you hit 80,000, right? Please key 80,000, 80K. If you think that it won't happen, you can just put no, N-O, no. All right, let me see what What's your view? We have 55 of you now online. Let me hear you guys. What do you think Bitcoin will be going, right? In about 40 days time, Bitcoin will roughly hit how much? Okay. All right, let me hear you guys. If you think that Bitcoin will hit 80,000, please key 80K. If you think that no, you don't think so, then put NO no. All right, it's as simple as that. Okay, so we have Susan, Idman, Anthony, Nansin, this Jimmy, Han Yu. Okay, Arun says 72.9K. What Q? Okay, Arun says 72.9K. Okay, all right, I put it there. Okay, all right, mine was 75 around there for 40 days. Then Yu Ming say no. Joe say I don't know. Okay. All right, so anyway, this is just a projection, okay? Now, of course, people ask the next question then. Okay, what if the market this time round really couldn't hold water and goes below the 80% mark or the channel? What will you do? Now, this is where I want to be very clear with you in terms of understanding. Okay, let me explain this to you. Now, yesterday I did it once, I do it again today. All right, now, the reason why I'm calling for a buy at this moment right now is because, first of all, the highest point, the lowest point has went below the 80% mark. Now, we all know in the financial market, right, from the all-time high to the lowest point, the market cannot go below 80%. More than 80%, we are entering the bear territory. So that is the reason why you can see that when Bitcoin came 80% back then, the first day, it rebounded on a Sunday, right? Then after that, a couple of days later, I did say that it will go down further, and indeed, it really came down. So now you can see the last 4 or 5 days, the market stays below the 80% mark. But as of yesterday, you can see the market firms itself above the 80% mark. And now it's still surging. Can you see that? It's still surging. So all I want to say is, okay, if the Bitcoin can stay above the 80% mark, that means it's still in a bullish territory. So Bitcoin should be able to go higher. Okay, that's my point. Now, if anytime anything happens and Bitcoin goes back below the 80%, I will stop here first. I will say that, okay, guys, no buying, go slow, very slow, wait for a while. That means that if that really happened, it'll be below my channel and it's also below my 80% mark. So which means that, right, who knows, that be something crazy may actually happen and causes a big distortion to the, to the fate of this Bitcoin. All right, so this is my take here, and the key thing is the 80% mark. Okay, so remember that the 80% mark is going to be very, very important. So at the moment now, as long as it stays above 80%, I'm a bull. Okay, I'm a bull right now. Okay, that is the first thing. And the second one, if you look at it, right, in terms of RSI reading, I have said this before, I will say this again. Excuse me. The last time we see the RSI hit below 30% was only recently, right? Then you look at history, the last time, was September 2020, and that was an absolute low, about 10,000. And of course, there's one more wave that was back in 2020, 18th of March, that was here. So you look at it, right, it does tells me that this is a very clear uptrend bull. So that's why a few days ago, I've been calling people to buy Bitcoin, and indeed it's going up. So the thing is, unless this thing changes, and the RSI comes back down and the price goes lower, if not, we should be a buy. It's a bit oversold and it is a buy at the moment right now. Okay, so clear on this? All right, last one. Of course, I have to put in my own indicator, right? Yeah, indeed, my own indicator. Now, if you put my own indicator, you can see very clearly that I have my KCX at the bottom. Look at it, guys. The KCX shows that it's blinking. Come on, man. The last time this blink, okay, was here on the 26th of February. That was where the color changed from red to yellow. It went up. Bitcoin went all the way up by almost $13,000. The previous wave, again, CCRY, KCX turned red to, KCX was green at this bottom here. And from red to yellow, you buy, it went up by 24,000. Okay, so first wave, 24,000. Second wave, about 12,000, right? Let me just confirm this. Yeah, 12,000. So, of course, people say, this wave could be only 6,000. I don't know. But even if it's 6,000, right, I have to wait for it to turn from red to yellow, right? So if red to yellow comes next day, tomorrow, $6,000 is still going to give me pretty decent upside, right? Turn to about 59,000. So guys, that's the reason why I say Bitcoin is a buy. And of course, if you look at the 5-minute chart today, we have a few good trades today. First trade this morning was here already, early morning. You can see the KCX were all blinking at the bottom. Red to yellow was a buy, and instantly the market went up by almost $1,000 movement in just 35 minutes. Incredible. Just 35 minutes already we make the money. Then if you missed the first wave, there was a second wave earlier, a second wave right here. So you see the blue turns to green, red to yellow, you look to buy. All right, this one we went in, but we were caught. The market did not go enough for us to take our first profit, so we will stop out. We will stop out. But of course, now we went back in again because it's still KCX blue to green, red turns to yellow, and now we are in a marching position right now, up by $1,200. So this movement now will eclipse all the losses that we lost earlier. So you see, guys, this is something that you must believe that this is right in front of you. The colors are all there. The system tells you that it's blinking. You just have to trust on it. Color turns from red to yellow, just buy. It's as simple as that. It's so incredible, right? So that is how we see it, okay? So in terms of other thing else that you want to tell me about the conventional, let me just take a look at conventional today. You can see about Bitcoin. It has firmed above the MA30. Look at it. Sorry, MA11. Look at it. This morning, the low of the Bitcoin firms brilliantly at the MA11. Touch and recover. Wow, it's a strong buy. That's why. So that means that the next target now for Bitcoin should be going for is 56,000. All right, what's that? It's a MA70. Okay, this is a MA70. Okay, all right. So that is the one to look out for. And you look at Ethereum. For today, Ethereum is very bullish. You can see right now. Ethereum now is way above the MA11. Very bullish right now. And it's also above the MA70. So likely Ethereum will break all-time high in a few days' time. In my opinion, unless something critical happens, if not, Ethereum will be breaking the all-time high pretty soon. Okay, guys? So you got an idea how we see this? So overall itself, right, I do see that happening, all right? Mariana, you don't think so? Okay, no problem. I say there's everybody has reserved their own opinion. So we're not going to say who's right, who's wrong. As long as we are making money, I think that is the most important. All right, agreeable? When you're making money, that's most important. When you actually have a simple software that you see that it turns from blue to green, look out for buy. When it turns from red to yellow, that's all you need. That is how simple it can be, all right? So that is our trading for today and also my sharing on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I hopefully that you like this sharing, right? So if you're okay, I'm gonna move right now to our a quick run into our other markets. All right. So for cryptocurrency, I come to the end of today's sharing. Okay, hope you like it. Now I'm gonna go a very quick one about the financial market, today's financial market. So let's look at the financial market, right? Just quick one to use my software and to let you take a look right here, right now. All right, China A50 has tried to recover from the low end today. It has now stayed above the MA30. So it seems to be pretty looking to try to recover, but it failed to cross MLP. So that's a concerning factor. All right. DAX has just opened, right? DAX has just opened. Yep. Okay. So the cash market not open yet. And now it's testing the BNB resistance level. So traders must watch this BNB resistance level. There's MLP right there. And for gold today, right, the KSI day chart is green, so we're looking to buy. So that's now if you look at it for gold, when it came down to KTR -1, this is an absolute buy, right? I told you before, when KSI is green, when price come down, hit KTR -1, CCRY is always a buy, and if you have done that, you already made money already. So it's so simple as that, right? And of course, at the bottom, there were so many KCX at the bottom. So definitely this CCRY is a buy, all right? How many of you have made money on the gold side? Let me know, all right? If you made money on gold, congratulations. This is a very good buy because KCX was there, the KTR -1 was there, and everything looks good, okay? So watch out for, this is something that you really need to watch out for. Now for Dow Jones Dow Jones tried to go up just now. KSI is still green and it's firming above the pivot 1. So let's look at the market. Like this earlier, the market tried to hover above the pivot 1. And once it crossed pivot 1, you can see immediately the Dow Jones shoot up. All right, so that tells you that our pivot trading, color change is very critical. And of course, this one is above OP, above pivot 1. So CCRY here was an absolute buy. If you've done that, congratulations. Okay, so that is the Dow Jones. We can look at a quick one on NASDAQ. NASDAQ is also the day chart on NASDAQ today is also KSI green, and it's a KSI jump. So the market should be more towards the upside. That's why you can see the market went up. All right. Okay, so that will be all for the view for the other markets. Okay, so overall, we are still pretty bullish on the equity market, but I did mention that there is some selling yesterday on the equity towards the second half, the last part of the day. So if you look at it, this is a selling wave. So if we do a quick one from the highest point to the lowest point, the 50% mark or the 61.8 to be precise is somewhere here. And we do see that some form of resistance here at the moment at 61.8. So is this a telltale sign that the market may go into some profit taking? We will see how it goes. Only when the Dow goes below the pivot 1, then maybe we will see some selling. All right. Okay, that will be all for today. Hope you enjoyed this afternoon MAO. If you have any questions, you can actually text me. All right. If not itself, that will be all. Have a great day. This is Kel signing off. See you tomorrow morning. All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.